Hi friends, welcome to my channel testng.xml. Today I am going to explain how to run parallel test using thread local. Without using thread local, we will get issues with execution of the threads. Whenever we are using unsafe thread like strings and other unsafe threads, during the execution of the parallel test, it will give the issues. So that it is better to use thread local for parallel execution. I created three different methods: base, parallel test 1 and driver factory for creating thread local test. So driver factory will have get driver, setup driver and quit driver methods to handle the driver, and base class will have to handle the initiation of the driver and quit the driver, and parallel test 1.java will have the different test. Let we initiate our driver.factory. It will have get driver and thread local method and thread local class to initiate get driver and setup driver. So I am going to create thread local by adding WebDriver as a instance and giving the name of the thread local as tlocal and inserting the new thread local. And I am going to write one method get driver. It will have return type as WebDriver. Name of the method is get driver, and we should have set driver. We'll write complete function for the get driver once setup driver is done. Public void set driver. This method will set the driver for tlocal. Tlocal is the thread local we are using. So tlocal.set is the driver we are going to use. We are going to insert the driver as Chrome driver. So we already imported WebDriver and Chrome driver in this method. So now we have to return our WebDriver using thread local. tlocal.get method can be used to return the driver. We'll write quit driver function also to clear the driver. Public void quit driver is the method name, and we are reading the driver. tlocal.get, and if driver is not equal to null, we will clear. Equal to null, we'll quit the driver first. Driver dot quit, and next tlocal dot remove. So we are going to remove our thread local. So this is the driver factory method. So these methods will be used to set up the driver, to get the driver and quit the driver. Driver factory class we are going to use for setting our drivers. Next I am creating our base class In base class, we are going to clear the driver and also calling the driver factory set driver, so that we'll have this driver will be set and clear before calling parallel test. So it will be a common method where we are setting the driver and clearing the driver. For this we are using before method. Public void setup method we are going to use to call driver factory setup driver method. So since we did not make it as a static, I am going to make it static, and this driver for security purpose we are going to make it as private. So we have to modify this driver methods as static due to the reason we are calling these methods using driver factory. So from base we are going to call the methods from driver factory. Now set driver we are using, and after driver we'll quit the driver. We'll make get quit driver also static. Driver factory quit method we are calling after method. Public void cleanup method we are using to clean the driver instances. So we are using driver factory and we are calling quit driver method to clean the drivers. So we already imported after method and before method, so we can use before method and after method in base. So now parallel test, which is extended base, so it will run faster. Base class will run before parallel test. One test is going to execute, tests are going to execute, so that our set up the driver, and after the method we are going to clean up the driver in base itself. So these two methods will run from base before all the tests are running from parallel test 1, because this is part of the sequence of the execution in testng. So testng have different sequences, like before shoot, before method will be executed early to test, and before test and after test, so that these executions will be run earlier, like setup and quit driver. So I am creating some methods to run test. Public void test A I am calling it, and I am using annotation to run this test. This test will have methods driver equal to driver factory we are using for get driver. So we are going to get the driver, and we'll create relevant methods, and before that we'll call driver.get to launch the web page. I am going to give http google.com. We can handle some inputs also, but we'll run different tests and we'll see what are the issues we are going to face with this execution. We'll mainly focus on how parallel test will be executed by executing different tests. So test 2 name is test B and it is also launching the google.com, and we are going to create 6 tests in this page. Test C, test D, test E, test F. So we are having different names for different tests, and our testng.xml will run 2 threads with parallel execution as methods, and test class we are running is parallel test 1, so that our test is running all different tests and extending base class where setup and clean the driver before and after methods, and having driver factory with initiation of the thread local for the driver and to get the driver and quit the driver. Let me run our test and see how the results are getting generated. So different tests are getting executed, google.com is open, our tests are quit, and again 2 threads, 2 different threads are running, 2 different threads are quit, 2 more different threads, and there are. So like this 6 tests are completed to run and 6 is lost. So even though if we are using unsafe for threads, unsafe methods for threads, it will be running. So handling thread safe issues will be easily done with thread local, and I'll share some more tutorials like this, so that subscribe my channel for upcoming tutorials. Thank you.